cyberpunks and retro nerds? Welcome back to another episode of Neon Trash with your host, Johnny Rocket, because it's my pits night. And I'm going to kept it a surprise for these boys, but now it's time for the big reveal. So without further ado, we'll be watching Bones, starring Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Oh my God. Did not expect that.
I knew you wouldn't. And
For shizzle,
You guys know this routine. Check out that motherfucking trailer. Peep that shit. And when we get back,
that shit.
you guys are going to know our opinions on Bones. Not the show about the forensic team. It's not that one.
folks, welcome back to the program here. We just got done watching Bones, starring Snoop Dogg, and I really wanted to watch this again. A lot of bad CGI, there was a lot of bad acting, there was a lot of really cheesy special effects, there's a really lot of stupid one-liners in here, but upon this rewatch, I did find a few funny one-liners here. They did put some zingers in there. Still, the whole story itself is just so overcooked, and like, it just, I don't know, tries to shoehorn too many angles in here and there, and just kind of made it, I don't know, after a while you were just like done watching the movie, but there was still like 10 minutes left.
Like going back and watching this was like, oh, I remember, like, you know, we were saying, hanging out with kids that were like this in the movie. You're like, oh god, that style, the early 2000s, late 90s.
It was a nice little time capsule.
Brought back some memories.
Yeah.
And then of course when they did the flashbacks, that was even pretty cool in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's goofy, had the zingers, and it had like people who were really trying to give it their all, but there's just too much cheesiness.
I totally agree. It was definitely a fun movie, which I think is what the original objective of this movie was, and it succeeded in that regard. It's just, it's not going to be, obviously it's not going to be a classic anytime soon in anybody's book, but for the reasons they just mentioned. I gotta admit, I actually found myself enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. I mean, there were some good performances, and had some good people in it, and so I thought they made an honest attempt, and the director, Ernest Dickerson, is, a very good director. He's done a lot of stuff that I like, so, had a lot going for it, and there were some, good special effects. I mean, and it knows its influences. I mean, it's, got a little bit of Freddy Krueger, a little bit of Dracula, a little bit of Hellraiser here, a little bit of, Evil Dead here.
The only other thing I can really add is that this was a New Line Platinum Series release. So New Line Cinema was notorious back in the day. These guys released some of the best movies of our time period from the 80s and the 90s. I mean, they've had their fingers into things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and, of course, Freddy vs. Jason. Bones, I'm going 5.5, almost a flat 6. Do it, Dougals.
Okay.
For reasons that I mentioned earlier, it had potential, and it was fun for what it was, or what it was for the most part. And I had fun watching it as kind of a unique novelty piece. Don't know if I'd necessarily revisit it, but it was fun for what it was. So for that reason, for effort, I'll give it a 6.5.
Oh my goodness, a little more than moi?
Wow, I'm not surprised by both of yours.
Whoa, go on.
No, Matt, please enlighten us with your star counts.
Well, for just like the fact that it was like the music, the kind of like time capsule, with the style, the beats, just the idea of the story. It could have gotten something really great, but just with all the stuff going on, like you said, the overcooking, stuff going on, execution.
Good summary.
Some of the blood, it was pretty bad too.
Some of the effects.
But it's, it is what it is. So I'm going to be with the Googles here. It'd be like 6.5.
Oh my God.
Nice.
All right, damn.
You Meeting of the minds.
I can't believe any of you guys gave this thing more than 5, honestly. I'm giving this 4.5 stars.
Oh my God!
This was, I mean, it had a couple of things going for it, but honestly, this was still pretty
And
pretty not so good.
we're usually the
Like,
lowballers, you know, so it's like, wow,
I
it's like
mean,
the reverse.
I think that's pretty harsh, but if that's how you feel, like,
I mean, I still
I
like.
mean, for the actors, the music,
I
the
wanted to
produ-
watch this again to see if it was as bad as I thought it was. Like the first time I watched this, I'd probably give it like a 3, honestly. So like, I can appreciate a couple of more things about it, I guess. You know, and now I'm getting that snapshot, time capsule nostalgia effect. So it gets a little extra boost for that at this point. So
Yeah, sure.
for that, anyways, I mean. Turn of this 21st century blaxploitation at its very
a lot
root.
of
and
blaxploitation elements there. So.
I mean, if that's how you
I've definitely
feel.
seen worse. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And what a surprise for the old month of January. I mean, I never expected
yeah.
John to come over here and spank us
Those
with the old
bones,
Snoop
you know,
Dogg
yeah,
Bones
yeah.
horror movie. What are the
I
goddamn
mean, at
odds?
the end of the day, I'm still a big fan of Snoop Dogg,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's worth a rewatch. I mean, not that he's, Sidney Poitier or anything, but, he's still, I don't know, just his look and his aura is just perfect for that role,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so...
Guys, I hope we've been informative because let's face it, let's not talk anymore about the movie Bones.
What do you mean?
Then we have
Somebody
to.
wants to go on a deep dive.
No bones about it.
Yes.
All right,
so-
Daniel, yeah, we're going to cut off the deep dive of 10 Fathoms there. Chaperoo.
I hope we've been informative, you motherfuckers. Until the next time, tune in to the Neon Trash. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay.
Yay!